Welcome back to Hardball. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton ventured back into politics today when she announced her support for gay marriage in a video for the Human Rights Campaign. Let's watch.
LGBT Americans are our colleagues, our teachers, our soldiers, our friends, our loved ones. And they are full and equal citizens and deserve the rights of citizenship. That includes marriage. That's why I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law, embedded in a broader effort to advance equality and opportunity for LGBT Americans and all Americans.
Well, Secretary Clinton's support came not long after an op-ed from former President Bill Clinton backing an overturn of the Defense of Marriage Act. And just a few days before the Supreme Court will look at both DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, and California's Prop 8. It also puts her in line with top Democrats, heavily weighing 2016 bids, of course. Could this mean a move for her already, an eventual candidacy here? Chad Griffin's president of the Human Rights Campaign, and Joan Walsh is editor-at-large for Salon and an MSNBC political analyst, and laughing and joyously already involved with what she knows to be a fascinating conversation. And it is fascinating. I watched the Clintons. I am a student of Bill Clinton came out a while back. He's going to get rid of DOMA. He wrote a very nice op-ed piece in a major newspaper. Now Hillary Clinton has come forth in a very well-produced video, very well done. And I listened to it all today, and it's well done. So here's my question. How did it happen? Because we were talking, the producers and I, when's she going to do it? How's she going to do it? And now we know.
Yeah, you know, Chris, look, I've known the Clintons for a long time. I grew up in Arkansas, and over the last few years, every chance I've had when I was around people in leadership positions, I've urged them to fully evolve and come out in support of marriage equality, and that includes former Secretary Clinton. Sometimes in the last 10 days or so, she reached out and actually offered to do this video as part of a series that the Human Rights Campaign has called Americans for Marriage Equality.
Who'd she call?
Me. And
she personally called you?
And then I had the happenstance of getting on the train this Wednesday, Chris, and walking on to the Amtrak train, and former Secretary Clinton was seated there.
Wow.
And she was so excited.
Was this the fast train or the slow train?
This was the fast train.
Okay.
And we were able to talk about how excited she was to do this, and she actually did it over the weekend on Saturday, and then we released it, as you know, to our 1.5 million members.
So this is kismet, huh?
Today.
This had to be.
Incredible.
Okay, let me ask you, let me go back to Joan. What I'm fascinated by is the sort of doppelganger here. Laura Bush, just a few days ago, a week or so ago, was pictured in a big ad by a group that you guys support for marriage equality, and she was listed as one of those four, there she is in the upper right side, one of those major public figures, along with Colin Powell, as an endorser of marriage equality. And then later that afternoon, around 5 o'clock Eastern, she withdrew her name from it and said, you can't use my image, which she can't, it's a fact, so they can't say it wasn't true. I find this still a partisan issue. I find it something that's troubling for the Republicans and a big plus for the Democrats. I think they've really chosen sides. Your thought on this issue of equality?
Oh, I agree. I think this is a foundational issue that will divide the two parties, and I think that Secretary Clinton getting out there and doing this now makes it clear that I don't think there can be anybody running in that 16 primary who doesn't support marriage rights. It just feels to me like that would be a really dangerous place to be, and so I think it's significant that Chad says she reached out to him. This is really her first political act now that she's allowed to be political again, and I think it is saying that we know that we're the party that supports marriage rights. Some of us came to it a little bit later than maybe we should have, but we're coming to it firmly. I think her position sounds like she may even be beyond President Obama's position, and this is going to be something.
How so, Joan?
I think he's left it that he's comfortable leaving it at the state level, and she seems to come out and go beyond it, that it's just a basic right. I would want to follow up on that. But it's a very, very strong statement with no caveats or quibbles. And, God bless Rob Portman. He's come out for it on behalf of his son and other gay people. But this is an issue where the Republican Party is going to drag its heels. John Boehner feels like it's a good idea to come out and say, I wouldn't support gay marriage even if I had a gay son, which is so unbelievable.
Well, let's get a response to that. I think that's interesting. Is it becoming partisan, meaning that you expect that the Republicans will not change their platform between now and then, next time, for president?
No, I actually am optimistic that they will, Chris. In fact, the postmortem that came out today from the Republican Party mentioned 4 times that they have got to start including gay people in the party platform. And that means not just the
words matter. What do you mean, including them in the platform? What do you mean?
There's no mention of marriage.
They said that they're oh, that's right. No, the platform actually is terrible as it relates to LGBT people. But the report that came out today used the position that they have against LGBT people as one of the reasons why they did so poorly in the election. Now, that has to be followed up with actual action.
See, I see all this, but not just your concern. They're concerned about it. You're obviously concerned about other issues too, but not just marriage equality is an issue for the gay community, LGBT community. But when they say things, we want to reach out to African Americans, and I say with all honesty, their way of reaching out is to stop them from voting. And people are not stupid. You can make all the hosannas and full-page ads and everything else. If your policy is still anti a group, they're not going to vote for you. Anyway, let's take a look at this, the way Clinton ends this, Secretary Clinton. This video I thought was very well written, very well put together. Let's talk about it as an opening for the 2016 presidential bid. Let's listen, because I really did think it was, in the best sense, political.
For those of us who lived through the long years of the civil rights and women's rights movements, the speed with which more and more people have come to embrace the dignity and equality of LGBT Americans has been breathtaking and inspiring. We see it all around us every day in major cultural statements and in quiet family moments. But the journey is far from over, and therefore we must keep working to make our country freer and fairer, and to continue to inspire the faith the world puts in our leadership. In doing so, we will keep moving closer and closer to that more perfect union promised to us all.
We. Chad, we.
Chris.
Is she running for president?
She did not tell me. We didn't talk about that. But the Washington Post came out with a poll today that shows that 58% of Americans support marriage equality. 81% of people under the age of 30. Chris, 81% of people in this country don't agree on anything these days. 81% of people under the age of 30. I think it's going to become increasingly difficult for anyone of either party to run for public office if they are anti-gay and hold anti-gay positions and do not embrace freedom.
Okay, you're making a push here, but I'll make a prediction. The next presidential election, the Republican Party platform will oppose gay marriage.
I'll take that bet.
How much? No, I'm just kidding.
Great dinner,
I can't bet. Anyway, I always like to bet in my brain, though. Joan, what do you think? Do you think the Republicans will get on board? I think they're going to be slow to get on. They may be for civil unions at some point up to the states kind of state. I think they'll fall back to the states' rights position myself. That's their usual default position.
They may try to have nicer language. You know, this RNC report today talked about inclusion and tolerance, but we're not talking about tolerance in the Democratic Party anymore. We're talking about full partnership and equal rights. And I have to say, Chris, today watching that video was the first time that I really felt a twinge in my gut, like, I think she's going to do this. Not a prediction. I have no inside information.
Okay, let me tell you why you might be right. When she announced for president, when she ran against Obama, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, she opened up with a videotape.
With a video, I guess it was like an echo of that.
This. Anyway, thank you.
Time will tell.
Thank you, Chad. You're such a pal, Chad. You're such a politician. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate it.
Joan
Walsh is always up next. Notice anything